Hey everybody, I'm Garcia, and I'm here to talk to you about how I became a recent fan of Code Orange. And in this process, I'd like to really drill down on how someone can become a fan in the social media age outside of just, going to a show like Former Before or like word of mouth or whatever like this. It's like, how does the algorithm on the Facebooks, the Instagrams really target somebody and pull them in so that the track can come about? So I would say my first experience with this group was that I'd be on Facebook and I would see like Rock Feed or like Blabbermouth or anything of like the metal outlets, and they would just this news about this band, and I had no idea who they were. I think I checked out a track which I now know is Swallowing the Rabbit Hole. And this is my first time hearing them, and I just heard like all these weird sounds. I was like, I'm not into this. So from what I'm, like in that moment, right, I just write the band off. I keep seeing stories about them. Okay, Code Orange. It's getting here. It's getting cerebral. It's something that I know of, a band I know of now. So recently, my playlist is going, and then I see Take Shape featuring Billy Corgan. So here I am thinking of Swallowing the Rabbit Hole, and then like Billy Corgan. So I'm like, what the hell is this gonna sound like? And I'm like, I'm super curious. So it goes, that bass comes in. Okay, there's a little bit of feedback on the guitars there, and the vocals come in clean and kind of, but still kind of raw. And I'm like, hey, I kind of like this. But what really got me was that chorus comes in. It just was so heavy, and the way that the guitars sounded, like they weren't just really in the front, like a lot of modern metal recordings are. That you can tell it's like, okay, I've heard this modeler before. I've heard this kind of production done on a guitar. It sounded like maybe 20 plus years old. I could almost hear the room from the guitar tone. I loved that. I just loved the way it sounded produced, and so that's the one that got me. So I'm like, all right, replay, take shape, take shape, take shape. I keep going back and back, and I think it was the chorus that really hooked me. So I'm like, all right, I like this. So what does the above sound like? So I go in and I even checked out that, and then I go through that, and then the first time it was a little different for me because I expected to hear Take Shape like for however many tracks, and then I hear like the real hardcore sound going with a few of the tracks. But the one factor that I heard throughout the whole record was the energy. It's just rawness to it. It kind of reminded me of like the Slipknot rawness you get early on. And the way that it was produced was very well layered, like wild, but in a good way. And it just, I think of daring when I think of this band. I think like they're not afraid to take risks and showing their kind of image and their artistry. And then they had some kind of like rocky songs on there. And then I think it was The Mirror. I thought that was brave. And maybe that's offensive or not, but to hear like Grooming My Replacement, and please correct me if I get these song titles wrong, but the drone comes out of a hive, or drone out of its hive. So hearing that song and then hearing something that is like something you can like really sing along and get down to. So then I was like, damn, these artists, these are like actual big time, cerebral things going on here. So then I heard the above like a couple times, and then I went back a few years underneath, and that, oh my gosh, the above's great, but that one was like, whoa. The thing that took me most out of that whole record was that the dead silences within riffs, like Swallowing the Rabbit Hole, the bravery to just cut the audio on like an eighth note. Did it like not just silence that like we think is silence and there's actually like an audio file going there in the production, but just a pull. And it's like, damn, that makes me uncomfortable as hell. It was like makes me so uncomfortable to do that. But then I saw that there was art in that. And yeah, the biggest thing I took from it though was like sometimes it takes that song that's familiar, such as like Take Shape, that is sounds new metal-y, but it's still original. And to then open up the catalog. So the fact that they were in my feed, I had name recognition. I was able to go on this one track. I liked this one track. So then you're getting 5 plays there or whatever. And then you get an album and an album. And so now I can understand their art better because some song led me in to liking them. So now I get to check out their older records from here because I'm only 2 albums deep for this group. And I think they have an original energy and sound, and they put a lot of work into what they do, especially if you're trying to track and how many things are going on in one song. I highly recommend them. I think they're great.